Alright, today I want to talk about familiarity, the things that are familiar to you. This is sort of an advanced concept, so I might butcher it, I might fail, hopefully I won't. So let's talk about advertisements first, how they work, right? At first I wouldn't understand why would someone pay for an advertisement, right? Just for people to see something? Sure, it makes sense to let people know about you, but it doesn't guarantee that they will buy your stuff. But the effect is not only for them to see it, but also, throughout the years of people studying psychology, they went further. They made the advertisements to be persuasive and get into your subconsciousness, right? Through subtle tricks, how they make them stick. Like they make tests on people and see their reaction or how much when it impacts them. Oh yeah, for example, but wait, that's a different topic. But I was gonna talk about how they have kids watch a TV show, and then when the kid would look away, they would look at what's wrong with the show and change it so that the kid keeps watching, right? Whenever they wanna get you hooked, keep their attention. So that's why all these videos are flashy and this and that. It's just really abusing psychology, and that's not right in my opinion. They are taking away your free will. So advertisements, they show you something so much that it sticks in your subconsciousness. And there's a story. I might butcher it again, but whatever. So there was this lady that was watching a lot of TV, right? And she saw a lot of advertisements for dog food. And one day, when she came back from grocery shopping, she bought a can of dog food. And her husband asked her, "Why did you buy this? We don't even have a dog." And she said, "I don't know. I just felt like it." Right? And it's these advertisements that really control your behavior. Even to this extent, where a woman buys dog food even when she doesn't have a dog. That's how impactful it can be. So yeah, whatever you see, it does influence you. So when you have, or the environment you move in, like where you work your job, where you walk, where you live, not just your home, although that's very, very impactful, but like the city, the people. But yeah, the way your home looks like, the stuff that you have around, it does influence your mind, your thought, your emotions, everything. It's as if these things were vibrating and affecting you with its vibration, right? Everything has an effect. Like, yeah. Everything has an effect just by being the way it is. Just by being itself. Okay, let's move on. That's why people also turn back to their addictions, because it's familiar to them, right? their bad habits, even if it harms them, they turn back because it's familiar to them. But the good thing is that you can forget a bad habit just by not being around things that would remind you of this bad habit, or it's called triggers. Anything that makes you think of this bad habit. It can be feelings, it can be like clues or moments that bring up these feelings, or visually, you see a gambling advertisement and it reminds you of the time you won, you were happy that you won something, or just any moment when you were gambling, and then you sort of are drawn to it. Or when you spend time with people that talk about it or spend their time doing it, right? Doing it in front of you, you'll return to this bad habit. And also, another thing, we are tribal beings, and when we spend time with a group of people, you can notice that over time you start to act like them, you start to talk like them, you start to laugh like them, right? You're gonna have the similar laughing pattern. Your accent, the phrases that you use, and the things that you talk about with them are gonna be more constant, right? The stuff that you focus on, a common goal, a common whatever. Another thing is with familiarity, which is the complicated thing that I want to talk about now, and you might not get it, you might not agree, but it is to be true, or something about it. And that's how your relationship with your parents can dictate your future partner, right? When you think about when you have a partner, look at how similar she is to your mother or father. She most likely possesses the good qualities you like about your mother and father, even the negative ones. The good or negative, there's something familiar that you've been drawn to. Because you formed, over the years you spent living with your parents, you formed sort of a relationship, and you are tuned on a common frequency, right? You're like vibrating on a common frequency, and in the world you seek things that vibrate similarly to you, and that feels good when when you are on the same note, right? With someone, with or anything, things or people that vibrate on the same frequency like you. That's love, that's passion, that's the things that you like. And like my mother she still possesses some traits of narcissism, and I guess I am drawn to narcissists. I don't know, man. Or like, maybe. It's my curse, no? Could be my curse. But even if you don't realize it, you don't pay attention to the things that you aren't familiar with very often, or you just disregard them, you discard them, you just don't pay attention to them because you're not used to these things. And most of the time we look at the things that are comfortable to our eyes, to our mind. So those are the familiar things. And when you spend time listening to music or watching TV shows, that can dictate what you are familiar with, right? There could be gore, there could be unhealthy relationships, unhealthy behavioral patterns, and that sort of programs you to be a certain way, to be drawn to things, certain things. So that's how impactful familiarity can be. And to control what you are familiar with is to control the course of your life. Who could do that, and through what means would he be able to do that? Right? Ever ask that question? So yeah, that's my talk on familiarity. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I don't know, comment orange rocks or something. Yeah, thanks for listening.